Hey everybody, I guess I'm ready to go now. Uh, Back from the weekend, back from a very busy weekend, back from San Diego Comic-Con. So it's going to be one of those crazy shows. So we're going to probably get myself on a soapbox in the middle of this. So if you thought this was going to be a fun and lovely episode, it probably won't be. If you thought it was going to be a rough and tumble me on the soapbox kind of episode, you're damn right. Because I'm upset. So when I'm upset, that means something creative has to be done. So we're going to talk about some stuff today. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. We're going to talk about that's funny. It is going to be one of those things today. Oh, all right. So let's start off. Let's just start with the important stuff we got to talk about before we get to the serious stuff. Let's talk about the Kickstarters. Since I really haven't looked at anything this weekend, I took kind of a good weekend off to try to do some stuff on the house I needed. So let's see what's going on. And I had some personal stuff pop up, but that's another story. So let's go to our favorite top secret, $105,000, 63 hours left. Yeah. We already knew it was gonna make 100,000. And also, if you did not know, they have opened up. I think I talked about this. I can talk about this on their updates. They have opened up that they want to do people to do stuff for actually writing for New World Order. And certain people, I've heard rumors that certain people are going to be doing products for them. Yeah, so we're going to talk. That's kind of interesting. So there'll be certain people might be doing some top secret products. Who is calling me while I'm doing my show? Have they no decency? Good Lord. All right. So next up, of course, New Path. I don't even know where New Path is right now. I totally it's gone. 3 days left. 26,000. Good money. Probably make 30. So let's see what the added-ons are, just so we know. 26,000 White Necromancer archetype. 20,000 New Priest archetype. 30,000 revised Savant class. 33,000 New Warlock archetype. Is it possible? Maybe. We're gonna have to see. I think it's gonna be possible. I think they'll pull it out. Dude, it's Cobalt. They're not gonna mess up. They know that one, so I'm not really worried. But it's like, oh, there's some cool stuff. All right, next up, let's talk about our brothers in arms, the guys we like to support. That's right, our buddies over at Patreon. Oh, I don't know why this keeps doing this way. This is like the only place it does it. For some weird reason, whenever I type in for Right Publishing, there's always some kind of weird error that it doesn't understand what Right Publishing is for some weird reason, which I don't get. That drives me crazy. So I have to fix it. But every time I try fixing it, it never seems to work. That is. Anyway, we've got our usual guys up there. Of course, we're going to add Right Publishing at the end because God knows it's being a pain. Yeah, go support. Put a little couple dollars in their coffers. These guys worked very hard. They've done good work. They're awesome guys. So, toss them $1 or $2. It's only $1. You don't have to commit for as long. Do as long as you want to. But, show them some support. Show them that they actually care. Next up, of course, some self-promotional stuff. New Access Legacies is doing great. I still got to do some more work, which I'm not doing because I've been, futzing around to other things. Here's a new one from Stonemeyer. The method and perils of creating U.S.-based companies for Kickstarters if you're not in the U.S. There's an interesting thought for all of our Canadians. Well, Mexicans too, but Canadians overseas trying to do a U.S.-based company for Kickstarter if you're not in the U.S. Kind of interesting. Check that out. They'll be smart. Black Diamond. Gary Ray is still on his vacation. I know I've seen movies come through. He hasn't put anything new up, but like I said, he's on vacation, so you might not see anything new, but you can go through his old stuff and all get the great stuff. Of course, Gary V with the great new stuff. That's awesome all the time. So you want to check out. Not even a question. Let's not ask silly questions because we know he's going to give you great content. So much great content. It's almost illegal how good it is. And then next up, what's on the scene? All right. So this was no big surprise. So this weekend was San Diego Comic-Con, and everybody and their mother went there. So let's get to some stuff, and then we'll get into the real good stuff. All right. So San Diego Comic-Con, if you don't know what it is the largest comic convention in the world. It is awesome. It is ridiculous. And it is where now all the major video game, movie guys show up showing their wares at a comic book convention. That really isn't much of a comic book convention anymore. I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. I had an opportunity to go in my early 20s while I was working for CVM, but I blew it off saying, oh, no, I'll go sometime in the future. 25, 27 years later, well, 25. Years later, I still haven't gone to San Diego Comic-Con. And I think it's gotten to a point so big. If I'd gone in the 90s and gone now, I'd at least see the difference in the show. But now it's like, oh, I got to shave. I didn't realize But now you can see such a massive difference from what they've done and what they're doing. So I don't even consider it to be the same show. But the cool stuff was, I can't lie about the cool stuff they did do. They dropped a new trailer for Justice League, which is a good trailer. Look, I said it. I'm an Avengers guy, so it's no big deal. But I want to see comic book movies succeed because we get made and we get good stuff. It was what it was supposed to be. It was awesome. Looked good. Boom. Happy. Thor Ragnarok new trailer came out. Another good one. Looked awesome. Enjoying even more. Hela's costume with her little wavy things on her head still looked awesome. I thought that was going to be like kind of goofy. But in the comic books, it's easy to pull off. But in the movie, I think it'd be difficult. But they've done it look like a pretty cool job. So I'm cool with that. That was good. Stranger Things season 2 trailer came out. Okay, I'm a fan of Stranger Things, but it's not like I'm a super fan. Like some people want like bananas over it. I'm also, which is also a lot of people don't realize. Even though I'm a kid of the 80s and there's tons of movies like Goonies and E.T. and stuff like that. I haven't watched I've never seen E.T. and I don't have a desire to. But it does not excite me as a creative person. I'm like, ugh. Goonies, I've seen bits and pieces, but it still does not excite me as oh my God, that's so cool. No, I didn't see that. Those were not movies that excited me to watch in film. I think also plus ties into my parents. Both my mother and father are not big movie people at all. My mother is literally, she goes to a theater, and this is when we were young. We stopped taking her to theaters. This is what happens. You go to a theater, it gets dark, she falls asleep. She falls asleep on a movie in a second, like that. And it's like, she never. I think the last movie my mother saw in the theater was Dressed to Kill, and that's like 81. So, yeah, my mother's not a big movie fan. She's not a big TV person. She's not a big science fiction person. So that doesn't come from her. My dad, a little more rational, likes a couple movies, but my dad doesn't like, bad language in movies. My dad's very, very conservative. If you did not know, my father's very conservative. He's like a lot more conservative than I am. So it's like he's like, oh, I don't like to watch those kind of movies. I'm like, if it's funny, it's funny. If you're swearing, it's funny, it's funny. It's funny. I like funny. If it works, it works. But I get his point of view. So, he's not a big guy like that. He's never been as big as science fiction. I don't know. I always said for me was when I saw Star Wars. Star Wars changed my life. Star Wars in 77 when I was living in Vienna, Virginia. Boom. Sat down in the theater, saw it. Never, I saw it, went away, and never came back. I mean, I fell in love with science fiction. I started eating it up. I went to see all kinds of cool things, and that was like my start. And now here I am, wow, when I thought about it. 40 years later, 40 years later, it's more the same. I love comic books. I love science fiction. I love gaming. I love all this stuff. It's in my blood. It's very much in my blood. So I'm glad I'm a part of that. The Last Emperor. Couldn't watch that monstrosity. And also I forgot the Defenders trailer came out, which is another great trailer. And look, I don't care what anybody says. Iron Fist is supposed to be white. He's not supposed to be Asian. You don't make Iron Fist Asian. You make Shang-Chi Asian, so you can play James Bond meets Bruce Lee. That's what you do. Or play the Cat. There's still the Cat who's readily available. Another Asian superhero does Kung Fu. It'll be kind of awesome. Let Iron Fist be Iron Fist. You need the white guy who knows Kung Fu, who is the fish out of water story. I don't care what anybody thinks about, the martial arts wasn't great. Somebody said it best to me, and this made a lot of sense after he said it. It's like the advantage that Daredevil had that Iron Fist didn't and should have is that Daredevil wears a mask. So you can put a stunt guy in the costume or a stunt guy in stuff, and you never know it's not the actual actor. You couldn't do that with the Agile Ran, even though they should have. They should have put the whole thing around us and just like, bam. Like, what's that for? It's like, don't you fucking worry about it. And just kept moving. And they didn't do that. They did the exact opposite, and he wasn't a good enough fighter. He wasn't believable enough, and the fight scenes were not very well constructed. And they did the best, but like still, it's like it's tough because Iron Fist has that. Iron Fist works great with Power Man when you see them, and they actually get to in the comics. If you're a fan of the comics, you're like, hey, so it needs work, but whatever. I'm not going to get involved in all that. We're not going to do all that right now. But still, so this translates into what's going on to the title. What can we learn from San Diego Comic-Con? Well, first of all, we can learn that we need to think of comic books, RPGs, all this stuff in the 21st century. I said this, I think, last week. We have to stop thinking about the stuff back in the 20th century. We're now in the 21st century. We really need to start thinking differently. So many people, as of late, I've been very, very, I'm using the word jealous. There's a guy who I know. I know him personally, but I don't know him as well. There's a guy I know who, when I see this guy, he upsets me to my core. Now we're thinking like, why would this guy upset you to the core? Every time I see this guy, to me in my head, this is all in my head. There's no logic to it. Don't try to get into it. I see this guy and I see him living my life. Now what that means is he's working a great job. He's doing a suit and tie thing. He's got the amazing wife. They're going to have their first kid. Everything in this guy's life is perfect. And, my life is, I'd say my life is a little bit of a shambles, widow, one son, a lot of issues, medical issues. I'm dealing with them. I got my own issues to deal with, trying to date again, not trying to date again. It's, my life is a jumbles. But I look at his life and I'm always like, I hate that guy because he's got my life. Or at least it's what I want my life to be. And it's kind of silly for me to even think that way. But I know that. But at the same time, I'm like, I see this guy, I'm like, God, I can't stand that guy. And then to make it even worse, it cuts a couple days ago. I stalk him online. Don't ask me why. Like I said, we're friendly to each other. We know each other through just common connections. And I saw another one, and I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, oh my God, he's in Canada in Vancouver doing something. And I'm just like, oh, I can't stand this guy. Because anybody knows me knows I want to go to Vancouver. I've always wanted to go to Vancouver. It's a big place I want to go, just check out and get the vibe. And now this guy's doing stuff in Vancouver. And I swear, I want to punch this guy in the face. And it's not like it's a logic. There's no logic to this. But I think it always goes back to, like, what do I want to do for myself creatively? What do I want to do for myself? And this goes back to, what are we going to do differently for the 21st century? And, I really thought about it, and I was like, what the problem is? My mindset, because a lot of times I kept futzing around, not sure what to do, and my mindset comes back to this song. Now I put this link in there so you have to see this. It's linked for Kendrick Lamar Control Verse. Okay, it's a lot of people who are not big rap fans. You may not understand who Kendrick Lamar is. Kendrick Lamar is a very, I'd say, newish rapper who's done very, very well for himself very quickly, as amazing for his skill. Kendrick Lamar put out let me phrase it. Big Sean, another rapper, put out a song that he did where Kendrick Lamar did a verse on it. The second chorus verse that he did. This verse blew up because really in the middle of him doing this whole song, Kendrick Lamar basically goes after the top named rap guys in the industry. Like, I mean, to the point too, it's like he went after them like, I want to take your fan. Okay, let me if I get the exact line, but I want you to understand about how serious this was, and not in the violent way I'm gonna go after you, but okay. I've heard the barbershop be great in debates of like who's the best of all times, and the best MC: Kendrick Lamar, Jigga, Jay-Z, and Nas, Eminem, Andre 3000, the rest of y'all. Oh, I can't say this part because it's got that N word, so y'all, and I'm here it is. He goes, and I'm usually homeboys with the same N words. Oh, jeez, who I'm rhyming with, but this is hip hop, and those N words should know what time it is. And then he goes and names all the people he wants to basically, that goes from Jermaine, Cole, Big Crit, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, the guy who's on the record he's talking about, the guy he put on the record, Jay Sean, Jay Electron, Tyler, Mac Miller. I got a lot of love, but I'm trying to murder you. Trying to make sure none of your core fans never heard of you. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you. This guy just basically told everybody, I'm coming for you and I'm coming for your neck and I want your title and I want what you have and I'm going to take it. Now, I'm a classic rap fan and I believe that battle rap is where it should be. That's what you do. You rap on records, you get that stuff. Sean, dude, that's how awesome it is. He dissed the guy on his own track. That's amazing. And the guy put it on. And it's an amazing track. I've put the link right here. The first link actually is to the actual song. So you can hear it. I like the song a lot. It's one of my favorites. The other link is the link to Rap Genius, who translates it, what it actually means. So if you're a fan of rap and you understand rap, it's not a problem. But if you're not a big fan of rap, but you're like, what does this actually mean, Lewis? I don't understand this. I'm not a rap guy. Go to Genius, the link I sent. You can highlight the little section, and it will tell you in the annotation what actually it means, which I think is a brilliant idea. I'm a huge fan of rap. Well, originally it was Rap Genius. Now it's genius.com. So this is for all music. If you did not know, it's a great little website to check out. Just for songs you may not know and be like, what? What are they trying to say? Oh, that makes it. So yes. But this is one of my favorite moments because we don't really do this anymore. We don't do this in this industry. We don't go after people. We don't have to be like, oh, everyone's a lovely friend and we love us all and hugs and kisses and no, man, don't believe that BS, dude. There's money involved here. Don't ever kid yourself. This is a business. A lot of us act friendly and nice to each other, but don't kid yourself. If me getting something prevented somebody else from getting something, that could happen. And let's be honest, fan bases are very, very fickle. Like there are people who are like, oh, my favorite line. When I was first doing, back in the day, I was doing Haven City of Violence. D20 Modern come out. My game would come out. So many people were like, oh, it sounds kind of interesting, but if it's not for D20 Modern, I'm probably not going to pick it up. It's got to be for D20 Modern. It's got to be for D20. And people kept saying that to me. Like, well, the system's very similar. It's like, oh, well, it's not D20 Modern. I don't want to waste my money if it's not D20 Modern. And it took me a long time to finally realize people say they want new and innovative stuff, but they don't want it till it's actually new and innovative until everyone's talking about it. Until it becomes popular, it's like, oh, I don't want to, they want to be like that. They want to stick to the cool thing because the cool thing might pop off and they're wasting time on your thing. And God forbid they wasted time on your thing when they could have had the cool thing. So you got those kind of situations. So that's what goes on. So that's why, a lot of people now, this drives me crazy too. Some people are doing the same fantasy-based stuff. I mean, like, God, how many more fantasy worlds can you do that are exactly the same? Oh, we're doing more elves. We're doing more dwarves. I'm like, oh, God, it just drives me crazy. Even when I hear that, it drives me crazy. And then, we did Neo Exodus was nothing like that. The Taslanian of Pathfinder is what people have been calling it and telling me. I'm like, well, that's I did it the competition. I'm great. No elves. Still no elves. I think that's a great way to be presenting yourself. But man, oh man, people are like, oh well, if I don't want to try it. If it's not fantasy that I'm used to, I don't really want to try it. Which really means if it doesn't have dwarves and elves and halflings, I don't want to try it because it's too foreign to me. Because fantasy to me is this little position here. If you go well, oh no, that's too much. No, I mean, just like this, like to my favorite running joke. If I put a black guy in plate mail armor on a unicorn or a Pegasus, people have fundamental problems with that. That tells you there's already something wrong with it. So my first thing was let's work on the 21st century thing, and that's something that we all need to do. We need to start thinking of ourselves as 21st century media companies. We're not even game companies. We're not comic companies. We're media companies. We're selling stories, and the stories we're telling are stories that get you excited about what's going on in our world. The reason that Neo Exodus is always had a comic book, Grand Theft Exodus, because I knew that I wanted to expose more people to it. Why does Grand Theft Exodus have a female protagonist as the main character? Because I know young girls like to read stuff, become fans, become hooked, they love stuff, and boom, they become your big super duper base. And people keep saying, oh, you can't sell toys to girls, they won't buy them. Yeah, except that Wonder Woman proved that to hell, because so many people kept saying, oh, you can't do it because women wouldn't like that. But this happens a lot. You'll notice this. A bunch of white old males telling women what they want to play with. Yeah, that was a dumb idea. Same old white males that told you, black people don't like that kind of stuff. We'll tell you what black people like. Not a black person inside. Jesus Christ, this ain't rocket science. So we've got to start thinking differently. Like I said, I have a media company / game company, comic company. But it's a media company first. My ideas are to make media. My ideas are to push different ideas. My ideas are to really get people trying things in bigger bulk. I am a media company. I just happen to make games as one of the outlets of my media. But I'm a media company. I am telling a story because stories are important. The more people read my stories, the more people become interested. The more people become interested, the more people I can convert. The more people convert, the more cool stuff I can make. It isn't rocket science what I'm doing, but it is something that I am pushing against what is the norm currently. Because the norm currently is stay in this lane, do the exact same, never change, be this. And that's why Marvel and DC have the biggest problem. DC, I'm going to say Marvel specifically, because if you look at the Marvel movies, the characters and ideas they've been dealing with in the movies are ideas that are around the 70s and 80s. Because really, after like the late 80s to like early 90s, the stories just went to piss. They did. There's not a lot of great stories. They're just not. They're just not. Because the writing isn't there, the quality of stuff isn't there, and the price of books just got to be silly. And there's that whole big invasion by Image and their whole thing, and is the art more important than the story? And then the guys went independent. I'm glad the guys at Image went independent, but at the same time, it's just like, God, man, there's a lot of bad stuff going on. Just bad done stuff, just garbage books. And the books got more and more expensive. You know, the books got to a point where the books cost $4 a pop. And as I said, I'm gonna say it here. I said it before online. Mother 3 is not gonna spend $12 on comic books. She's not gonna spend $12 to get 3 comic books. She's just not. It's not a feasible way to do that. What Marvel should do, which is also weird. I was in Five Below a couple weeks back. I found a 3-pack of Marvel books, 3 comic books from Marvel, $5. Five Below, boom, all wrapped together. That is something they could have done in Walmart. That's something they could have done in tons of little places because they have tons of overstock of books. Let's just not lie to ourselves. Marvel has a lot of books in a warehouse that are not doing anything. So if I was guys at Marvel, I'm like, let's get these things out of here. Let's put them in packs. 4 for $5 or 5 for $5. It doesn't matter because they're old books. 5 for $5, boom. You can buy them from kids. Maybe get people interested. Maybe get people excited. Maybe get people reading comics again. But once again, they still have the main problem. They don't have a book to access new young readers. If you want to read Spider-Man, you got to dig into a lot of history. And I don't understand why Marvel doesn't have a book that is really altogether it's 18 issues, and it's 3-story arcs, 6 issues a piece of Spider-Man stuff. And it's just generic Spider-Man stuff. And maybe you focus towards the movies so people see more of that. If people say, oh, I want to get some stuff for the movies. Well, hey, we have these, and you build this whole line. I've said this before, and I'm going to do it for my stuff when I do my comic line. So this is nothing new. Here's all of our comic book, this stuff you want to get for the movies. You're a fan of the movies? Yeah. Well, here's the books you want to read. And it's like 18 issues. 18 issues. That's it. It's like, 3-story arc, 3 story arcs of 6, 18 issues, and you just keep repeating them. The same 18 issues. And you change the covers. So you do the first year and a half they come out. Boom. We started, you go from 1 to 18. We ended 18. Boom. Start back to 1. And just keep doing it over. And you just change the cover. You keep the interiors exactly the same. You do them on newsprint. You save the money. You do all that. You change the covers. And people will be like, well, why would people buy them over and over? Aha! That's the kicker. They're not for regular fans. The regular fans know what they're for. And you even tell regular fans, hey, remember, if you got new guys who are looking to get the comic books, make sure they check out our Adventures line. That's what I'm calling, Spider-Man Adventures. Boom. Check out our Adventures line. That's great for new people to get them involved, and then we can easily transition them into another book. It's not a goddamn difficult thing to do, but they're still not doing it. Marvel and DC have billions of dollars. They're owned by hell, Disney owns Marvel, Warner Brothers owns DC. You're trying to tell me these guys couldn't figure this thing out? It's not a complex thing to do. You keep repeating it over and over. So any store has them on a spinner rack, and you make them real cheap. These books are just gateway books. We want to get people to pick them up and look and go, ooh, a comic book. Our little mother comes in and says, oh, I want to buy a comic book for my son. He's new to this. Right. Go right to this rack and start right here. There's lots of great stuff. And then you do like maybe it's like 2 stories worth of it. So you pack it up. You really jam pack with stuff. And in the back is like trade paperback stuff to sell kids on the other stuff. Oh, you like the comic books? Try to get some stuff online. Here's some trade paperbacks. Here's some great places to start. You just do that. It's not, oh my God, it's not that difficult. But these guys have not figured this out yet. I can't figure this out. I really can't. Randy, most people don't want to give third-party third-party publishers a price because it's not official. People want to play official Paizo, official Pathfinder, which is so stupid since Pathfinder was a third-party company. So the same people that complain about Pathfinder not being, a third party, that's not official, are complaining about Pathfinder from a system that was built from a... What they're really saying is, I don't want to trust it because those guys don't know as much as the guys at Paizo. Except that the same guys who are doing third party are the same guys who are going to Paizo. And some people don't even make the connection. So I stopped getting angry about that. I just come to the conclusion, if it doesn't look like Pathfinder, they're not going to notice it. I mean, look, Neosis has a great cover. It's a great book. It looks great. It does everything it's supposed to. But it doesn't look Paizo enough. Now, that being said, the guys who did Dream Squad Press, their book, they got Wayne Reynolds to do their cover. Wayne Reynolds looks like Pathfinder. So when people saw it, they're like, oh, this is a Pathfinder book. Oh, I didn't know this was a new Pathfinder book. Pathfinder's just a Sonics? Sonics? Oh, great. Let me pick it. Oh, and that's what they thought. They thought Wayne Reynolds, official, must be good. And that's all they did. And they sold tons of that for that idea. And I always said, I'm pissed because we never made that level, because I know what Wayne charges. I couldn't swing a Wayne cover. Sorry. I would have liked to, but there's no way in the world we could swing a Wayne Reynolds cover. Maybe if we do like a big annual one, or if this whole organized play thing takes off, becomes a super duper thing, then maybe. But right now we got a great cover. It's a solid cover. It looks great. But it is what it is. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Sean, they don't know. Sean, most people who buy this stuff don't, they don't look at the name. They're like, oh, it's cool, it's Catherine, I love it. They know like one or two. It's like, like Stan Lee at Marvel. I know Stan Lee, he's the main guy. But the guys actually work there. They don't. Most people don't know that. Publishers know that because we got to know who's who and stuff like that. Oh, that guy's a good guy. I've seen his work. But most general people say, "Well, the adventure good." Yeah. Well, who wrote it? I don't know. Just somebody at Paizo. Paizo wrote it. That's it. Paizo. Like Paizo's a person. So I'm not gonna even worry about this stuff anymore. You can't. You really can't even worry about it. You just got to focus on doing awesome stuff. Media company, developing cool stuff, and continuing from there. I still don't get why more people aren't doing comic books. I'll say that all the time. Some people are like, well, I don't think comic books do that well. It's like, dude, here's why you should do a comic book. If you haven't figured this part out, I'm gonna slap you already. But this is what you should know. When you do a comic book, you fill a book full of art, the same art that you can use in your products. What? Did you say it, Lewis? I'm sorry. Can you say it again slower? When you do a comic book, you do all kinds of panels and stuff like that. You can use that and put it into your book and save yourself some time of having to buy new art. Oh my God, I never thought of that. Yeah. Ugh. 21st century company. You must think differently. Stop thinking the way you used to. Those days are over. Those days are over. I'm not declaring war on anybody at third party, because I want everybody to work together. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? Some of you guys have to go down. Some of you got to catch a bullet. I don't know who it's going to be. Listen to that Control song. You can figure out where you play in that, but I want to go after him. I want to keep making awesome stuff that people go, that was awesome. I got to get more of that. That's why I see it. You got people like planning up for Starfinder. People are saying, oh, if people ask me, what are you doing, Lewis? I'm not doing another campaign world. I've done 3 campaign worlds. I've done 3. Haven City of Violence, New Exodus, Obsidian Apocalypse. And if you want to call it Crisis, I didn't really do that much on that, but the idea, I've done 3. I've done 3 campaign worlds. Urban crime, fantasy, science fantasy, and horror. I'm not doing anything more. I'm tired of making campaign worlds because they're tedious and they're tough and they cost a lot. And sometimes they're one shots and you just do them and you never see them again. Neo Exodus is my appeal to fantasy. And I'm trying to find ways to make it interesting for people to try it. That's why I'm trying to do new monsters. That's why we're trying to do cool NPCs. That's why we're trying to do the organized play. That's the only way to get people interested. People don't want us to be interested in the traditional ways. That's all I can say about that. All right. That's it for tonight. Tomorrow will probably be me some more doing some angry yelling. This week, I don't know if we're going to be doing a Wednesday or Thursday show. Some of you know, some of you don't know. Lucas is going for his surgery for his right eye. So I'm going to be taking care of him for the rest of the week. So I'm probably not going to have time to do the Wednesday, if not Thursday show. If I can, I might do like a walking show on Thursday. We'll be back home by then. But, it depends on how he's feeling, how I'm feeling, and, it is what it is, people. I'll do my best to try to get something for you, but maybe when we're driving back from the hospital, I don't know. But like I said, I'm just gonna do my best and hope for my best, and I just want to make sure he's okay. Maybe that's really important to me. That's that's the most important thing to me. Oh crap! I forgot to mention this. See, I got on this whole rant and rave, and I didn't include the books. I didn't include these books. So here's some books you should check out. I've showed these books in the show before, but I think you should check them out. They're 2 pretty good books. The Economics of Digital Comics by Todd Allen. The link is right there, of course, the thing. A lot of good information, a lot of good numbers, actual numbers and breaking down numbers and stuff like that. For those who are big on numbers, want to see how things actually work, this is a great book. Some of the stuff isn't, it isn't valid. Well, I can't say it isn't valid. It just isn't new because it's an old book. But it's all interesting and it's all useful and it's something you can use with numbers. So you can always, get them up for now. Next up is Unusual Talent. This is very much a kind of, creating, printing, and selling your own comics in the digital age. What makes this awesome, he has a section where he talks about printers. If you don't know how to deal with printing, he gives you the whole write-up, why each printer is unique, what you do, the proofing, everything you can imagine, how you make your money, and he talks about the actual numbers. Talks about actual numbers you can use. Another great book. Now you're both saying, well, why are you showing this to our RPGs? Hey, genius. The information that's in here, you can use for RPGs also. Comics RPGs are like this. Don't kid yourself. They're not like these separate products. They're very much like this. And things that you should work in comics, work in RPGs. You just got to take a time, figure out some stuff, do the math. Good Lord, get it together, people. This is what I do here. I'm trying to get you guys on the same page. Y'all acting like y'all like half crazy. All right, that's it. Boom. Check us out on YouTube. Very important, as always. YouTube, right here in front of right on Facebook. Facebook is always in front. My YouTube's always on the side. That's why I always make these odd motions when I do it. I have 2 screens if you didn't know. Screen here and screen there. I'm gonna get 3, so I can have 3. Be like awesome, but that's another story. So yeah, so do that. Also, go to your parents. You love them. Go tell them that they're important. Even if you can't, say a little prayer. Tell them that you miss them still. They still appreciate that. If you got any children, go give them a hug and kiss. Tell them they're amazing. Tell them they can do anything they want. Kids need encouragement, just like the rest of us. So encourage them. It may not be what you dream about, but it's what they dream about, and that should make you excited. Don't forget that. That's what being a good parent was. Doesn't matter if you're a step parent, aunt, uncle. Boom. If you're going to affect somebody's life in a positive way, do something positive. That's what I say. They'll appreciate it. All right, everybody. I will talk to you tomorrow. More fun stuff. Maybe some RPG stuff. Maybe I'll be getting angry and tossing some stuff around. You never know in my room. But you never know. All right. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you all later.